Hi, I'm Paul Downe.
And I'm Robin Downe.
We have, in the last year, we've been trying to pay off over $30,000 worth of unsecured debt that we have incurred due to family emergencies. We have a plan in place and we'll have that debt paid off at the end of 2017. And then we were introduced to the Kingdom Builders plan by the pastor.
Every year when it comes time to make our pledge, we've increased our mission giving just a little, and I'm very, very pleased to be able to give what we're giving to missions. This year last year I felt like God was really impressing on my heart that I needed to give more so I could increase my faith. I spoke to Paul about it, and Paul felt the same thing. However, Paul's giving more was to actually double what we were already giving, which was quite scary to me. I was concerned because we did have this plan. We had debt retirement, and I knew that getting out of debt was as much God's will as anything else.
The month was over after we had made our pledge. We got a call from the people that we bought our last car from. They wanted us to come in and trade in the car and work a deal out on a new car. So Robin wasn't home at the time. I made the appointment. I told her about it. Let's go see what they have. And as we were driving into the lot, she looked at me and said, "We're not buying another car."
I knew being fiscally responsible and intelligent as I am with money, I knew that buying a new car was really not the best plan when you're trying to get out of debt. And so I went in very negatively. However, this young man was there and he was speaking my accounting language, and he shared with me this special opportunity that they had to roll other debt in with the car. So we had a pretty high interest rate loan that we were trying to get paid down that I was able to roll into a low interest rate that was secured by the car. My concern with that would be we'd be upside down in the car. However, the finance company was providing gap insurance for us, and so to me, and the end result, I was saving $500 every month from what we had been paying, and I was going to be able to pay that on debt, and the car's going to be paid off at the same time the other car was going to be paid off. So it was a win-win. I got a really, really neat car, and we're able to pay $500 more down on our debt. It's time for my yearly review, and I had been on the job for a year, and so I had been told up front that their increase of living every year was approximately 2.5%. I was told at the time I got into the office that when I came into the place I was working, my skill set was much more than they had anticipated, and so they were increasing the level of my job.
Robin called me after her review and advised me that instead of a 2 or 2.5% raise, she got an 8% raise. And that more than covered what we had put out and pledged for the Kingdom Builders program. It also let us be able to pay off the majority of our debt in June of this year and all of our debt by February 2017.
It's important to pray and ask God when you come to these times of financial giving, and stay in tune to Him so you can hear what He has to say. Paul and I usually have the same amount dropped into our hearts. It was just last November when the pastor had mentioned taking up a special offering for widows, orphans, and the homeless that I had an amount dropped into my heart, as did Paul. Well, the week before the offering, we had an emergency come up, and it took just about all of our cash except for that amount. And I knew it was 7 more days before we got paid. Well, that Sunday morning, I wrote out my check, and I showed it to Paul, and he said, "Yes, that's what I'm thinking." And I put it in the offering plate with a prayer saying, "God, it's up to you." And 2 days later, I come to praise team practice, and there's an envelope on the piano. And just a few months before this, I had played Fortinet at a women's retreat, and in the envelope was payment for that retreat in the exact amount as to what we had put into the offering. I've come to know that I don't have to worry about my finances as long as I am faithful to Him. And what He asks of me, He is going to be faithful to me. He's going to honor me, and He's going to take care of me. We have that promise in Luke, and I'm going to read it because I don't want to mess it up. It says, "Give and you will receive. Your gift will return to you in full, pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, running over and poured into your lap. The amount you give will determine the amount you get back.
It's true. You can't outgive God.